For the next part of our math lesson today, you could be on page 281 in your math journal or on slide 4 on everyday math. If you're going to be on slide 4, you can do that after I show you how to do it, after we go over this. So as we go through this, if you have your math journal in front of you, you can work through it while I talk. And if you're going to do it on slides, you can listen to this video and then go to your slides on starting on slide 4 and do this. So on these we will continue on mass and thinking about extended facts and how to work these problems out. Number 1 says the mass of one American white pelican is about 8 kilograms. What is the mass of 16 8-kilogram pelicans? Show my thinking. So they're on the lines. They want to show your thinking. Now, for these problems, again, they are going to be using those pictures of the birds that we used earlier, but instead of flip-flopping back and forth, I will just kind of let you know some of the numbers or mass of the birds. For this one, you don't need to know. They give you the mass of one white pelican is 8. They want to know how much is 16. Well, wow. You could think, well, I could add 8 16 times, which would be a lot of work. Or you could go 16 times 8, which is kind of hard too. But what you can do is you can take, I'm just going to get my pen here, take 16 and break it apart. I think 10 is easy and 6 is a little easier than 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 10 and I'm going to break 16 into 10 and 6. What I'm doing is I'm breaking 16 into 10 and 6. And then I'm going to multiply them by 8 and then add those and then add the answers. So the first one is 10 times 8. So what is 8? 10 times 8. That's pretty easy. Count by tens 8 times, 80. Okay? And then I'm going to think 6 times 8. Because I broke apart 16 into 10 and 6. So now I'm going 10 times 8 and 6 times 8. I'm timesing them by 8, both of them. So 6 times 8, 6 times 8 times 5 is 40, and 40 plus 8 is 48. So 6 times 8 is 48. Now there's different ways you can solve this problem. This is the way I chose to do it. You can do it any other way. You know, you can solve this problem in other ways, but this is just the way I'm choosing to figure it out. To me, this is easier. So then I would say, okay, let's see, 8 times plus 0 is 8, and 8 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there we go. So what is the mass of 16 8-kilogram pelicans? It'd be 128 kilograms. Okay. Now, the next question is, one blue jay has a mass of 75 grams. What bird could have about the same mass as 6 75-gram blue jays. So one blue jay has a mass of 75 grams. What bird could have the mass of 6 of those? Now, again, I'm going to tell you the mass of some of the birds. I'm not going to flip back and forth so that you can see it. If you would like to go back and forth, you can. You can go back to that page with all the pictures of the birds. And if you have your math journal, I believe it's right there on page 277 and 278. So you can go look at that. But, so let's think about this. 75. So basically we're thinking 75, and they want to know how many 7. So you could go 75 plus 75 plus 75 6 times. Or we could go, I could break apart 75 into 70 and 5. 70 times 6. Remember when we did extended facts, we said we just look at the main number. So I'm breaking apart 75. So I'm breaking this number right here apart into 70 and 5 to make it easier. So 7 times 6 is 42, and then I'm just going to add a 0 to it. Okay. And then another one is 5. So 5 times 6. What's 5 times 6? 30. And then I'm going to add those together. So 420 plus 30 is 450. Now, like I said, I'm not going to switch back and forth so you can see the picture, but I wanted to let you know that the yellow-headed parrot is 400 grams to 500 grams. So that would be about the same as that 6 blue jays. And the Atlantic puffin is 400 grams to 650 grams. So again, it's around that. So the answer would be the yellow. It's hard to write on this thing. The yellow-headed the yellow-headed parrot. Or you could write the puffin, the Atlantic puffin. Those two birds, if you go to your picture, you can see that those two birds kind of land in this amount right here between those two, the low mass and the big mass. It's kind of right in there. So those two birds could be put there as your answer. Okay, let's go on to one more. One house sparrow has a mass of 35 grams. How many blue-crowned motmots together would have the same mass as 5 35-gram sparrows? Wow. So first of all, we got to know we got to figure this out. What is 5 sparrows? And then I will tell you, a blue-crowned motmot is 80 to 100 grams. Okay, so first of all, it says how many blue-crowned motmots would be the same as 5 35. So let's find out what 5 times 35 is. So again, we're going to break apart 35 into 30 and times 5, because they want to know 5 of those. So 30 times 5. And we remember with extended facts, you're just doing the main. So 3 times 5 is 15. So that's 150 with the 0, add 0. And then 5 times, because we split 35 into 30 and 5. So here's the 5 times 5 is 25. So this is 25. Then we're going to add those together, and then 150 plus 25 equals 175. So 5 sparrows is 175. So how many motmots? So think about this. How many would be about 175? They're between 80 and 100. So we're estimating, so 80 plus 80 is 160. 100 and 100 is 200. That's close to 175. So I would say because we're estimating, 2 blue-crowned motmots would be about the same as 5 35-gram sparrows. Okay, there you go.